All right. So, go to my daughter's house yesterday. We're tearing up countertops, moving the refrigerator, moving the stove. Got some projects. I mean, basically we're going to rebuild the kitchen or something along those lines. And getting ready to leave. My son tells his mom, "Hey, you gotta bring Dad by the house. You need to, whatever you do, stop by the house. Don't go home without stopping by my house." So on the way home, we stopped by Junior's house, picked some peaches off the tree, and we go downstairs. I ate 2 peaches off the tree because, oh my gosh, they're like epic peaches. I mean, like, I ate 2 of them and I wasn't hungry. They were just, just that good. So we get downstairs in the man cave. He's got slot car track set up. I mean, it's a routed track, so I mean, it's like to die for. It's epic. And then he's got a flight simulator, and I love to fly. Flying, man, all I can think about is flying. I had to give up flying because every day of my life I just wanted to fly. I enjoy it that much. So I walk into the bedroom, into the man cave, I mean, and he's got this rustler sitting there, and I love Traxxas. I mean, as you can tell, Traxxas. I have my biggest problem with Traxxas, though, even though I love Traxxas, is the fact that them suing Arrma. I mean, okay, so maybe it needed to happen, maybe it didn't, but the Nero based trucks, the Big Rock, the Phase-In, and the Nero were 3 of the coolest trucks on the planet, and Traxxas made it all go away. I mean, because Traxxas obviously wants to be number one, and they want you to buy Traxxas. They want you to buy Traxxas only batteries and Traxxas only chargers, and I mean, it'd really be nice, if Traxxas could just corner the market. That'd suck. Okay, Jaysun from Arrma RC, one of the engineers, as a matter of fact, the fellow that decided to put Arrma on the map, he helped with all of this. I mean, I don't know whose idea this was, if this was everybody's idea, a collaboration, him and everybody else, but as I'm at Junior's house, drooling on, I'm sitting there playing the flight simulator because that's just, I can't not set the remote down because I'm pretty happy about flying airplanes on a computer screen because that's, all I got, or all I can get my hands on right now. So anyway, I'm going to talk about the Wrestler. And Junior's got motors, I mean, the size of pop cans. I mean, he's got electric motors that weigh almost as much as the Wrestler itself. So, and it's a Wrestler 4x4, so I mean, it's awesome. So, it tells me I need to close my eyes and hold my arms out. So I close my eyes and I hold my arms out. Well, the next thing you know, it comes rolling out, or comes rolling into man cave. And he's got this. I don't know about y'all, but I love speedruns. I love anything fast. My wife told me when I hit 50 years old, I can buy me a 200-mile-an-hour motorcycle, right? Just because she figures when I hit 50, I'll be afraid of it. I am so not afraid of doing 200 miles an hour. It'll probably kill me because I don't have skills to ride a motorcycle 200 miles an hour, but point being, 200 miles an hour. I love speed. So my son drops this here 6S powered rocket ship in my hands and says, "Well, here you go, Dad. Happy early birthday, Christmas." Now, I don't know about y'all, but I was speechless, man. I'm still kind of speechless. I really didn't know what to say. It blew me away. Brought lots of tears to my eyes. I mean, as a matter of fact, talking about it right now, it's starting to rain in here. Killing me, Smalls. So if I get a little choked up, I'm sorry. I don't know. I just don't have words. Don't have words for this. This is incredible. My son's more incredible than this. This, in the world of speed, basically a Formula One car, does it really get much faster than this? I mean, I'm not saying you can't go faster than this, but if you look at it like the Kawasaki H2R whooped one of these in a drag race, right? Okay, take that same Kawasaki, put it on a racetrack, have it do 220 miles an hour, and then have it keep up with this around that racetrack, in that first corner, second corner. This is just wicked. And I mean, I don't even have words for this. This is just so incredible. I mean, I wanted an XL1. I wanted an XL1 so bad for so long. I just had to have me an XL1. My son, he went out and got him an XL1. And now I'm here to tell you, wow. It's like a twin turbo Dodge Viper on black ice going downhill. The car is just so radically powerful. It's just incredible. Well, this car is only like, I think, an 8-pound car. 8 pounds, 6 ounces or something like that. I don't know. Somewhere right in there. It's fairly light. I mean, and just the amount of aluminum, I don't even know if the camera's adjusted right. I hope the camera's adjusted right and I'm not all doing this for nothing. But the diffuser, the splitter, I mean, just the ground effects alone on the car. I mean, the way the car's been thought out. Arrma just flat out knocked this car out of the park, man. And to look at it, all I can think is, I almost need a second one so I can put long arm suspension on it, take off the splitter, take off the front end, and put me a short course truck body on it. So that, like the Moab, or I think it's called Moab, I don't know how the heck you say it, something like that. Anyways, the independent, basically, version of this. I really appreciate this just for the simple fact of is the batteries. The batteries are side by side. So the balance on this car, I mean, the ESC, the receiver, your servo, I mean, you have 2 1-pound batteries. The crazy part about this is they thought it out. They thought far enough ahead that these battery trays are so massive that you could run. I mean, if you could do it, you can put 6S on each side. You could have a 12S car. I mean, you could do 100-mile-an-hour rolling burnouts. It'd be insane. So that's funny though. If you look at the direction pattern on these tires, these 2 tires are actually backwards. That tire's backwards, and that tire's backwards. Every one of these tires are actually on backwards, if you go by the arrows indicated on the tires. We might need to swap that. This though, man, I don't know. This is, in my opinion, just radical waiting to happen. This right here, never in my life have he gave me this. He's like, here you go, Dad. Just throw this in it. I'm like, my God, man, this is monstrous. Holy Hannah. This weighs as much as this Rustler. 3S to 8S LiPo. Super BEC, 6 amps, max 25 amp. That's, you know how radical that is? That's pretty radical in my opinion. I don't know. Just radical. I mean, jeez. That's just so massive. Just blows me away. Things are tightened. I really miss my Nero. I love the Nero trucks. I wish Arrma could bring back the Nero trucks, because I'd buy every one of them all over again. I'd pick up exactly where I left off. I had three Nero trucks with the diff brain, and then I had a Phase-in. And I wanted the big rock. And then, I mean, the whole Traxxas thing, that just kind of killed me. So, I'm going to say Arrma's really got their stuff together. This is just an incredible looking car. And I mean, the ease of use. I mean, it's wonderful. Everything's all nice and neat and tidy in its place. I don't know. The ground clearance on it, I don't know if you'll be able to see it, but the ground clearance is actually pretty impressive. So I mean, as far as being able to lower this car or raise this car, so you can have, you know, I mean, me, all I could think was, let's just throw some radically knobby tires on it, and, you know, drift it in the dirt and the dust and the powder and the this and the that, and I don't know. Just incredible. So my son giving me this car, this ESC and this programmer and everything else, I just, you know, talk about being a little speechless. Alright, I'm having technical difficulties. It's whipping me. Oh yeah. I have the steering in the way. Hold on. That was my bad. Alright. How cool is that? I had me a 499 ounce inch servo here to throw in at Savox. 1230 steel gear. Not that I need to throw that in here, because that servo's like slower than dirt as far as, you know, turning. I mean, not that you couldn't put monster tires on the thing and turn it, but I probably need to go buy me a Savox, what is it, 1251 titanium gear. I think that's what it's called. I can't remember. I've had like 5 of them. Anyways, this here, I mean, I was just speechless, man. Brought some tears to my eyes lots of times. Not every time I think about it later. I mean, just, I don't know. It's just, my dad, I have to say, my dad, I love my dad to death. I mean, passed away here some years ago. I love the guy. I mean, beer and cigarettes, though, they ruled his life. I mean, that's pretty much what killed him. He had emphysema so bad. The nurse lady, she said every time we fix him up, send him back to the nursing home, he first thing he does, you know, is cracks open a beer, smokes a cigarette, just starts over where he left off. And my dad was a Camel Studs kind of guy, which, man, I mean, that's terrible. But anyways, my dad, though, always told me my whole life, Buck, I'm not going to buy your love. So I'd ask for toys when I was little, and he wouldn't buy them for me. He's like, hey, your mom buys your love. I'll never buy your love. So, all right. My dad, though, is the one that got me started in RC cars. 1976. My mom says it was 1973, but I can't remember that far back. I can remember 1976, Skyline High School. I can remember walking around the school parking lot, having to ask all the airplane guys what the crystals were in their radios so that we could run the car and not crash one of their airplanes when we turned on our radio. Well, the hard part was it wasn't equal as far as that goes. The airplane guys, they don't care. I mean, all the airplane guys there knew exactly what frequency they were on. So we were out there running that little nitro car around the parking lot, and then all of a sudden it just lost signal, took off, ran across the parking lot, hit a curb and broke something on the chassis. And that was the last time I ever seen that car. 1976, but that was it. I can remember being in Salt Lake City, Utah when I was pretty young, and they had an Army tank. I was about, what was I, 12, 13. I had an Army tank in the hobby shop, and all I could think was, I gotta have an Army tank. I gotta have an Army tank, because an Army tank can run over anything. It has tracks on it. So, I mean, as cool as these 4x4s are, if you're going to throw tracks under it, it's going to be unstoppable. Well, knowing what I know now, I'd just soon have tires and tracks. I mean, my dad's like, Buck, you don't want an Army tank. They're too slow. Wait a minute. How do you know I don't want an Army tank because they're too slow? You can always speed up an Army tank, can you not? I'd have a 40-mile-an-hour Army tank. I mean, I'd figure it out. I'm that guy. So anyways, I'm not really sure about how soon I'm going to get this here rocket ship running. I mean, my dad though, I mean, lighting the fire, I mean, the whole need for speed. This right here, to me, this is like the ultimate sin as far as speed goes. Formula One, ground effects. Even at speed, this car, as the downforce sucks it to the road, you have all that much more control just for the simple fact of it's being pushed to the ground. I mean, it's like running a slot car around a racetrack. I mean, it handles like second to none. So now I need to find me a motor, something to throw with that there 3S to 8S ESC, and that's it. Story of my life. I don't know. My son. All I can say is thanks, son.